So in this video we're going to change the graph of the translate Y for the sphere in the graph editor to make it look more like a bounce that we would have under the acceleration of gravity. So the sphere is going to move very slowly at the top of the arc, and it's going to move quicker as it comes down and strikes the plane. So to do that, we need to manipulate this curve that we've got here in the graph editor. So let's get to that. So the first thing we need to do is have the curve show up. So we'll click on the sphere, then click on our translate Y, and there's our path. Now I'm going to marquee select this center point here, which is the middle keyframe. It's the keyframe at frame 12, and we see these handles coming out to the side that we can use to manipulate this keyframe. But what we need to do is make this not be a smooth curve coming in and out. We want to change it to more like a V. And to do that, we need to do something called breaking tangents. And we do that with this little control, this button up here at the top, break tangents. Now we can select these handles individually. You'd think you could just come in here, select this handle, and just drag it around. And if you try that, nothing's going to happen. There's a couple of things we have to do. This is maybe a little counterintuitive, but you've got to come to the main window here and select the translate tool. Now you come to the handle and you middle click and drag. This was just kind of like how we moved those tools around on the tool shelves. So just drag it up, and we're just doing this by eye. We're not worried about equations of physics right here. There is, Maya can do actual physics calculations, but for the most part, we're not going to do anything that scientific. So just set it to where it looks about like this, and then marquee select the other, and set middle click, move it up, and you want this to look about the same. So it's got this kind of V shape here. That looks good. Okay, so that's about what we want. So we can come in here and test it out. So we'll move the graph editor. Actually, we'll move it so that we can see the animation controls. Now, one thing we're likely to see happen here, and remember we set this so that it would play in real time and skip frames if it had to make the animation play at the real-time speed. Well, now we've got some things going on here as the sphere gets close to the plane. It's squashing a bunch, it's moving faster, so you may actually see some of those frames drop out. Depends on your graphics card, depends on your computer system. So we'll just see what we get here. And yeah, some of those frames are dropping out every now and then. You see it got all the way down to the bottom once, but a couple of times it just missed a couple frames to keep things going. That's not a problem. There's nothing wrong. It's just the system keeping up with real-time 24 frames per second. And depending upon your system and your graphics card, it'll work or it'll miss frames like that. So nothing wrong. That's just what you should expect. And as animations get more complex, you get a little more of that. So there's strategies we can use to deal with that, but we're not going to worry about that quite now. Okay, so that's it. We've got our tangents broken. We've got our movement looking more like acceleration due to gravity, and still have a few more things to do. We still have the sphere squishing before it gets to the ground plane. We'll deal with that and one or two more items in the remaining videos of this chapter.